promote me to co-host? Okay. So I'm going to call this meeting to order. It is 6:42. We've just now hit quorum at 6:42. If we get here on time, we can start on time. But, here we are. So this is Manhattan Community Board 2's October full board meeting. I'm Valerie Della Rosa, and hold on. Thank you. It's probably going to, okay. I'm the chair of Manhattan Community Board 2, and I want to welcome everyone who is joining us here in the room and on Zoom. We will start with attendance, so I will turn it over to our secretary, Emma Smith.
Thanks, Valerie. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Let's begin. Susanna Aaron is absent with notification. William Benesh. Keen Berger. Carter Booth. Katie Bordenaro. Anita Brandt. Amy Brenna. Rich Cacopolo, I believe, will be joining us late. Ritu Chatri is absent with notification. Nina Chen. Valerie De La Rosa. Chris Dignas. Arturo Fernandez.
Here.
Thank you. Mar Fitzgerald.
Here in transit.
Thank you. Stella Fitzgerald is absent with notification. Cormac Flynn. Okay. Susan Gammy. David Gruber. Okay. JJ Herrera. DJ Jane. Juliette Kay. Zachary Kazaz is absent with notification. Susan Kent. Ryder Kessler is absent with notification. Janine Kiley. Oh, she'll be joining us late. Excuse me. Patricia Laria. Janet Liff is absent with notification. Benjamin Listman. Ed Ma. Is he online? I don't think so. Okay. Paul McDade. Erica Olson. Brian Pape. Matthew Pereira. Donna Raftery. Lois Rakoff. Bo Riccobono. I think I saw him on.
Well, let's just,
Okay.
you have to answer by voice.
Bo? I can see you, Bo. I'll come back.
Okay,
in
let's
the next
move
one.
on.
Brant Rossler is absent with notification. Sean Ryan. Rocio Sands. Shirley Secunda. Edward Siegel is absent with notification. Frederica Siegel. Here. Emma Smith, present. Dr. Shirley Smith. Chenault Spence is absent with notification. Sean Sweeney. Okay. Monica Weiss. Susan Wittenberg. Thank you. Anthony Wong is absent with notification. Eugene Yu. Thank you all, and we do have quorum.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
here, by the way. It's Bo, and I'm here.
Thank you, Bo.
Thank you.
I hear you now.
Thank you, Emma. Now we're going to begin our public session, but we do have Assembly Member Deborah Glick here. Would you like to say a few words before we get started with the public session?
I'm used to having to lower the microphone. It's great to be here with you. Some of you know the news that I won't run for re-election, but I am still going to be here through my existing term till December 31st of 2026, and I will continue to live in the neighborhood. So this isn't, by a long shot, the last time any of you will see me. I am really grateful to each and every one of you that donate your time, your energy, your wisdom. This community is so terrific in part because of all of the work you do for your stewardship for this community. And I personally want to thank everybody on the community board for your giving of your time and your energy. This is a very vibrant community. It's seen a world of change in the years that I've lived here and even before that, when my father and uncle had a place over on Hudson and St. Luke's, and as a kid, I picked up the afternoon mail at the Christopher Street Post Office, which many of you don't know existed. So this is I won't, it's not bittersweet. People said, oh, this must be bittersweet. It must have been a tough decision. It wasn't. This is year 35. I have been blessed to have the support of this community and to have, over the years, incredible staff that have worked so hard and felt so committed to a community that most of them didn't live in. So I am really here to say I'm going to continue to work till December 31st as hard as I always have. And I have a lot of things on the docket for next year. We have a report that talks about the things we've done recently, but let me just say a few words about what I plan to focus on in the coming year. One bill that Senator Kavanaugh and I share is a upgrade in the eligibility for SCREE and DREE, and to finally make it pegged to the change in the cost of living, so that we don't have people waiting 10 or 12 years for it to catch up to the reality of what the cost of living is. We want to keep people in this community. They are committed to it, and community is about not having people who care about it forced out unnecessarily simply because they're older. And their income has dropped as a result of not working as much or working at all. So that is a high priority. I chair environmental conservation, so I have several bills that I'm hoping we can get across the finish line. The biggest one is the packaging reduction and recycling infrastructure bill. We came very close, but the folks from the Chemistry Council, those wonderful people who bring us all sorts of poisons, really didn't want us to eliminate 17 chemicals from packaging, the kinds of things that shouldn't be coming into our homes unwittingly: lead, cadmium, formaldehyde, PFAS, which are the forever chemicals, and they are in the packaging that's not only wrapped around some of your household goods, but they are actually wrapped around your food. So if we want to know why people are getting sicker younger, we just have to look at that. These are the same people who vilified Rachel Carson, and they are in Albany. We had 106 lobbyists working against the bill. And the reality is, New York City, I mean, what do we do with our garbage? We send it to landfills elsewhere. And those communities don't want those poisons leaching into their water supply. And what does it cost us? Between $420 to $450 million a year. Why? Because we have 12,000 tons of garbage every day. 12,000 tons. Now, some of those landfills are going to close, so the price tag is going to go up because we're going to have to ship it further. So it's an important bill. We'll make some tweaks. We'll try to buy a couple of folks over to our side, but there are some non-negotiable pieces, and protecting people from these chemicals is the number one. So, and of course, a lot of it is about plastic, which used to be the byproduct of fossil fuels, is now the product. As we electrify and get away from gas, they are realizing that their product, not their byproduct, but their product is plastic, and they have produced twice as much plastic year over year for the last 5 years. And it doesn't go away. When you put it in the recycling bin, 1 and 2 can be recycled readily. The rest of them are very problematic. So that's number one. Number two, a bill that would eliminate PFAS chemicals in household products. like the cookware. And Governor Newsom just... Oh, thank you. Uh, I love Alexa jumping in. She's so lovely. Gavin Newsom vetoed a similar bill because the celebrity chefs have lines of nonstick cookware, and the cookware, they say it's not made with these chemicals, but it's made with Teflon. And they say it's fine as long as you don't scratch it and you don't have it on too high a heat. Well, that's somewhat problematic for the average cook who may not be totally schooled in that. And the other thing is the manufacture of it absolutely creates PFAS pollution. So we wrote to Gavin and said you were wrong, and you shouldn't be suckered in by the cookware industry because there are all alternatives, and they're not more expensive. So that's a big bill. And then there's the Beauty Justice Bill. We're working with, I don't know how many of you know, WEAC. It's a great organization up in Harlem. They were the ones that fought around the bus depots and the waste treatment center and fought to get a park on the top and not just a waste treatment center. And the Beauty Justice is about getting PFAS chemicals out of cosmetics and personal care items. You will be surprised to know that they're in most of the things we use. And so it's a little shocking and upsetting. So those are sort of like three really big bills, and we have some others that we're probably going to come back on. Low impact landscaping just got vetoed, so we'll bring that back and explain to the governor's staff why that was a mistake. We will hopefully get the horseshoe crab bill done this year, even if we have to make some chapter amendment concessions. So it's a full plate, and those are just a few. Those are the top line, but they're not the only ones. And I just personally want to thank you for the support, the belief in me and my work, even when we didn't agree, because, you know, we don't always agree with each other, even with our families. So I thank you. This isn't the last time you'll see me, but it was an opportunity right after the news broke for me to come and personally thank you for the work you do and for the kindness you have always shown me. So thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Glick. All right, so next, again, now I'm going to turn it over to Eugene Yu, our first vice chair, and he's going to run the public session.
Great, thank you, Valerie. The first item on our agenda is the public hearing on the city fiscal year 2027 budget. I would like to ask if there are any members from the public with questions or comments on the fiscal year 2027 budget. If you have any, please either raise your hand on the Zoom or in the room. Okay, I don't think I see anyone. Okay. All right, then I'll move on to the public session, the rest of the public session. So I'll begin with people in the room. First we have, one second. And just as a reminder, when I call on you, you will have 2 minutes to speak. And I'll begin with people in the room. And we have Ann Mitchelltree here to speak on the New York City Campaign Finance Board. So Ann, if you could just come up to the front. Hi. Good.
It's wonderful to be here.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Ann. I've been here many, many times before, and I'm very glad to see Deborah here, and thank you. I suppose everybody got this. It's the New York City Campaign Finance Board voter guide. I got one, and I found a pile on the bench in the bus shelter. And I just wondered if you were aware, because I wasn't aware. Barbara in apartment 4C has never voted in the past 4 years. And Emily in apartment 5C voted in 2021, but she missed 22, and then she voted in 23, and she missed the presidential primary, the state primary, but she did vote in the general primary. I voted in every election the past 4 years, except I missed the presidential primary because Joe Biden took 90% of the state vote and there wasn't another viable candidate. I missed the general election in 2023 because there was nobody in my district running for anything. And I say that to say that the New York City Campaign Finance Board got your name and address from a list of registered voters maintained by the New York City Board of Elections. But it doesn't say that we are going to put 4 years of your voting attendance on the front page of your personal magazine. And I just was kind of shocked when I saw it. I don't know why it's relevant. I don't even know why this is even permissible. And I sent emails, City Council District 1, 2, and 3.
10
I
seconds.
sent emails to New York City CFB.info, Public Affairs, NYCCFB.info, and nobody
Ann,
is
your time.
responding to me. Is that so? If anybody has any ideas, please let me know.
So just to clarify, what you're saying is that information about that you just talked about these individuals, that's actually printed on the, okay. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. I was just trying to clarify because it wasn't that clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ann. Next, I'll move on to, again, people in the room. For people that have a topic that is up for on our agenda, begin with, let's see, I think. All right, Jody Williams. And if you could just identify the topic you want to speak about.
Jody Williams and Rita Sodi. We're residents and restaurateurs in the West Village, and we just wanted to thank the community board and everybody here for your time and consideration and the education on being responsible and moving forward to whether it's pedestrians and everything. And I just signed my name because I thought I needed to say that, but I'm conscious of your time. But I just wanted, the relationship is paramount and really important to us, and we really appreciate that. That's all. But always here for questions and answers, and I love the direct, talking to each other and everything like that. Really important. Thank you.
Oh, just quickly, if you could just, were you here to speak about Bar Perlino?
Yeah,
You could just state for the record so we know.
okay, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Right. Next, we have Alvin Jones.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, gotcha. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alvin Jones, and I represent RS Strategy Consultant. And believe it or not, I am a student, and I attend classes in this building. I'm getting my MBA. I'm a late bloomer. So I have a connection to this community through school. I love the community. I love the area. And I want the businesses here to thrive. Now, anyone who's watched the news in the last couple of years knows that the economy is not the greatest. Inflation is ridiculous. I don't even know what a loaf of bread costs these days. So my background is in technology, sales management, project management, and all the while in the corporate community, I also was a co-owner of several businesses, including a restaurant, also a record label and music production. So I'm saying all this to say that my business has a background, and I have a background in what we would call mainstream, large corporation, as well as Main Street, small organizations. And I want to propose to this board, my ask is that if there are businesses in the community that need help, that they reach out to me and I be a referral source. Because things are not going to get better anytime soon unless there are drastic change. And I know that a lot of organizations, a lot of companies need that extra coaching, that extra help, and I'm here to do that. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And if I can be of service, please do let me know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alvin. Okay. And next, we have Lois Breckhoff. Lois?
Okay, I am talking to you as the community director of the Edgar Allan Poe Room. And twice a year, we have a Poe Room event. It's free, it's open to the public, and we have a program and we have a delicious reception with food, wine, soft drinks, and beer. But the clever thing of this semester is we're going to time travel, and Charles Dickens loves Edgar Allan Poe, or maybe not. He criticized him, and he came in 1842 to Philadelphia to speak with Edgar Allan Poe. So I invited Edgar Allan Poe, as always, and I invited Charles Dickens to come to the Poe Room on November 21st. It's a Friday at 6 p.m. And I'm going to ask them to have a conversation peacefully about the similarities and the differences, their life and their times and their work. The place is 245 Sullivan Street, which used to be what we called the Poe House, although he didn't own the house. He just had a flat there, you know, like an apartment there on Amity Hall, which is on West 3rd Street. So it's the Furman, and then NYU took over the building, but they have to have, twice a year, NYU must have a program on Edgar Allan Poe, and I make sure that they do it. So it's at November 21st at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and please come. If you've never come before, please come. If you have my email address or my cell phone, contact me. I don't have flyers because NYU is currently working on the Halloween parade, which is on the 31st of October, but then they'll start working on flyers for me. And I hope you all come. Any questions? It's free. We're going back into time to 1842.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lois.
I said you scared the dickens out of me.
Oh, and Charles Dickens had a pet, had a raven named Gimp, and he and he loved the raven and Edgar Allan Poe. So that's my story. Okay, you got it?
Thank you. Okay, next I'm going to the speakers that sign up online. Andrew Berman. Actually, is Andrew Berman in the list? I don't see him. If there's someone from Village Preservation who would like to speak on Andrew Berman's behalf in the Zoom, please raise your hand. Okay, otherwise, if there's anyone in the room that hasn't had a chance to speak for the public session and you didn't get a chance to sign up, if you'd like the opportunity to speak on something, just raise your hand in the room. Otherwise, okay, it looks like we've concluded the public session.
Thank you, Eugene. So now, is there a motion to adopt the agenda? Okay, great. And the agenda is adopted. So now we will go on to the reports to the public, and we will start with our elected officials reports. So if you're here in the room, we'll start with who we have in the room to come on up, and then we'll go to who's on Zoom. So if you're on Zoom from an elected official's office, if you could raise your hand, and then we will get you promoted to panelist, and then we'll be able to go to you once we're done with the reports in the room. Thank you.
Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Caroline Wexelbaum. I'm from State Senator Brad Hoylman Siegel's office. It's not working.
It's on.
Oh, sorry. I'll try again. Carol, is that better? Right into it. Okay, is that better? Okay. Caroline Wexelbaum from State Senator Brad Hoylman Siegel's office. As always, we have our board report outside. And I just wanted to touch on a few really quick things. 3 of Senator Hoylman Siegel's tenant protection bills were signed by the governor in the past week. The first one is a bill that bans collusion using algorithm-enabled price fixing, which is actually a kind of a common practice. The second one is a bill to ensure that tenants aren't subject to exploitative fees because a rent check bounces, often through usually through no fault of their own. So it caps the fees at $20 or the actual charge incurred by the landlord as a result of the bounce check. And then the third one is a bill that cut Penn South shelter rent tax in half. So there are a number of other things in our report, but in the interest of time, I will leave it there. Any questions? Awesome. Thank you. Have a good night.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarana. I'm here with Assemblymember Grace Lee's office. Our biggest office update is that we recently moved temporary office locations to 250 Broadway on the 22nd floor. We are still open for in-person appointments. You just have to schedule those ahead of time with our office, but we are now at 250 Broadway for the near future. And the other major update that I have is our legislative mailer is now going out to households. And I have a few copies with me as well if you're interested in seeing that. And we have both Chinese and Spanish versions available digitally. And some events that we have going on November 8th, our office is co-sponsoring an e-waste recycling event with the LES Ecology Center and Councilmember Marte's office, as well as Chinatown Partnership. So if you have electronic waste that you want to get rid of and safely discard, please come by and we can help you do that. And then also on November 15th, our office is co-hosting a turkey drive with Vision Urbana. And so you can join us there at 65 Norfolk. And all of this information is also available on our social media and online. Yeah, so if you have any questions, I have cards and the legislative mailer as well. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sharif Krabti. I'm a Community Affairs Liaison for State Senator Brian Kavanaugh's office. Welcoming Assemblymember Lee to 250 Broadway. You can also always visit us. Also need to do an appointment, unfortunately, because they have very high security there. So just to recap from the last month, we hosted 3 flu clinics throughout the district. We saw some really great turnout. As everyone knows, it's flu season. You probably have been sick sometime in the last 3 weeks. If you haven't gotten your shot already, definitely reach out to our office if you need help getting it, and just encouraging everyone to do that. And then for our updates, just like some quick legislative things. As many of you know, Senator Kavanaugh is the chair of the Senate Committee on Housing, Construction, and Community Development. So the governor also signed some of our bills this past week. So the first one is a bill to a law now to strengthen the laws and policies against home appraisal discrimination. So I think everyone's kind of familiar with the racial homeownership and wealth gaps in this country. So for too long, especially families of color, have been stripped of that opportunity. And so this legislation makes it a violation of the state's human rights law to discriminate when providing real estate appraisals or in making such services available. The law also further enables the Department of State to fine appraisers for violations in addition to other existing remedies. So that's a really important piece of legislation. Second one is requiring notice to be provided 90 days prior to commencement of a foreclosure action by a homeowners association or a condo board for unpaid common charges, assessments, fines, fees. So, in the event of foreclosure, we want to make sure that there's sufficient notice, and so this law helps make sure that process is fair. Third one, extends security deposit protections to rent-regulated tenants. I'll wrap up soon. In 2019, most of you are familiar with New York State providing market rate rental tenants protections with security deposits. These extend those protections to rent-regulated units. And then the final one ensures that family members and individuals with established emotional and financial ties to tenants and NYCHA properties are granted succession rights. So make sure that it's clear succession rights for NYCHA units. So the only other thing I'll plug is that we have a pet adoption event coming up on November 9th on Sunday. It's at Tompkins Square Park, not in CB2. The last one was in Washington Square Park. I promise I'll bring it back to the district. But it's going to be really nice and very cute. So please come out. I made these cute flyers. They're all out there. So thanks.
That should do it. Thank you. You don't have to put it lower. Hi, good evening, everybody. First, we are proud to share that Councilmember Botcher was recently appointed chair of the City Council's Committee on Cultural Affairs, Libraries, and International Intergroup Relations. Yes, this is an area of deep importance to our district and to New York City at large. And he looks forward to uplifting our city's arts and cultural institutions and ensuring that our libraries remain strong, well-resourced community anchors. Secondly, next week, the council will be voting on Intro 1016. It's the council member's bill to require graphic warning images at the point of sale of firearms. This is a first of the nation law that will serve as a model for other cities across the country. Just as warning labels are on cigarette packs help change behavior, this measure will confront consumers with the devastating consequences of gun violence at the moment of purchase. I want to let you know that this is expected to pass at the next stated meeting, which is October 29th. And if anyone is interested, there's going to be a rally in City Hall Park at 1 p.m. on the 29th. I wanted to let everyone know that participatory budgeting we had our kickoff meeting last week. It was very successful, but if you missed it, we're gonna have another meeting next Thursday, the 30th at Hudson Guild. Keep an eye on your emails and all the information, and if you have any questions, you can call me at the office. There's also gonna be a breast cancer screening at Northwell Health Greenwich Village, and that is going to be taking place next Tuesday on the 28th. We will also be sending out flyers on that, so please take a look and give us a call. Just want to let everybody know that, as usual, we have our housing and our Scree-Dree clinics, and I think I'm forgetting something, but never mind. Oh, yes.
October also is Cancer Breast Awareness Month. But my question is, you were saying that the councilman is on the the international committee. What is that?
He was appointed. The chair of the committee was actually Carlina Rivera. So
it was an existing committee already?
Yes. She was the chair, and as you probably already know, she left the council last month. And so Eric was appointed as the new chair. It's a committee on cultural affairs, libraries, and international intergroup relations. I'm sorry, I'm not exactly clear on what international intergroup relations. I have to do a little more research.
I would like to know that myself.
Okay.
Here you go. Thanks.
Hi. My name is Andy Lee. I'm from Councilmember Marte's office. I'm obviously not Connor. He unfortunately, oh sure, thanks. A little louder. Okay. Hi, I'm Andy. I'm from Councilmember Marte's office. I'm the budget director. I'm obviously not Connor. He unfortunately had a conflicting schedule, so I am here in his stead. Thank you for hosting me. So I'm just going to do some land use, legislation, and budget updates. So from land use, regarding Tuesday's incident with ICE, Councilmember Marte was at the site of the ICE raid on Canal Street. Councilmember Marte was at the site of the ICE raid on Canal Street within 15 minutes upon hearing of the first arrest, observing and documenting. The councilmember maintains that ICE has no place in our city, and this escalation was unnecessary and was intended to create fear. The challenges around vending on Canal Street are real and must be addressed, but federal agents storming our streets and targeting community members is not the solution. The councilmember participated in a roundtable discussion today with the Soho bid, city agencies, and other elected offices. Moving forward, our office remains committed to both protecting our most vulnerable New Yorkers from Trump's encroachment into our city and also making sure vending on Canal is properly addressed. Our office has been following some of the new developments in Soho coming after the 2021 rezoning. Connor from our office met with Katie and Eugene last week to help break down some of the zoning tools being used, and our office will continue to keep tabs on these developments and coordinate with the community board as necessary. Connor, as he mentioned before, the council member has been raising awareness around the charter revisions that would be on the ballot on November 4th. Specifically, ballot questions 2 through 4 raised serious concerns around the ability of the council and of the public to weigh in on land use and development. I brought along copies of our office's own breakdown of the proposals, as well as palm cards provided by the council. They're on the table out there. In legislation, today the City Council held a hearing on Councilmember Marte's bill, Introduction 1307, which would require the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment to create an accessibility fund. The accessibility fund would be a grant that could be given to film, TV, and theater productions to cover the cost of making their productions accessible to people with disabilities. The bill has 21 co-sponsors in the City Council, so we are hopeful we can get the bill passed in these last 2 months before the session is over. And then just really quickly for budget, as has already been said, participatory budgeting has started, so if anyone has any suggestions for District 1, any improvements, let us know, and I put some little cards out there if you want to submit ideas. Thank you.
Great, so that appears to be everyone we have in the room. So on Zoom, let me call on, I see Peter say, so we'll go with Peter, and then Evelyn,
Thank you, Valerie.
And then
Thank you, Valerie. Good evening. This is Peter Say from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. I want to give you some prosecution updates and some community work we're doing. We indicted Tyler McPherson for slashing a stranger on Astor Place on East 8th Street last October. He was indicted for 2 counts of attempted assault in the first degree, 1 count of assault in the second degree, and 1 count of criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree. We indicted Meyer Shetrick and his companies, he's a landlord, for allegedly harassing 2 older rent-controlled tenants in Chelsea. It's because of alleged actions like this, that the district attorney established the Office of Tenant Protection to stop this type of harassment. He's indicted of 2 counts of harassment of a rent-regulated tenant in the first degree. As I said, Meyer Shetrick is a known landlord in this community. Finally, a prison sentence. Jamar Banks was convicted of 1 count of assault in the first degree. This was a New Year's Day this year stabbing on the Uptown No. 2 train at the 14th Street and 7th Avenue stop. Work that we're working in the community is we continue to work with the Village Interagency Task Force to improve quality of life in and around the Washington Square Park area. CB2 District Manager Mark Diller and Quality of Life Committee Chair Susanna Aaron participate in this committee, and they're doing progressive work on it. And this committee meets every 2 weeks. Finally, everybody's going back to school. So not right now, but probably next month, I'll have information about summer 2026 internship opportunities at the district attorney's office. So thank you. Any questions?
Rocio, can we get Rocio a microphone? Thank you.
Hi, Rocio.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for coming today. I wanted to ask you a question. Do you have in your agency, is there a landlord protection area where tenants have committed crimes against property owners and landlords? And what happens to that? I mean, just recently, someone that I know, his grandfather was killed. The money was stolen from the apartment, and the day after, the 99-year-old property owner had a stroke and he died. And this was a criminal that had been out on the street and he went and robbed. So what are you doing to protect property owners?
Just because every constituent deserves protection. If there's an individual, I highlighted a specific division, the Tenant Protection Unit. But if what you described, if they need assistance, you can contact me. You know who I am. Contact me on the side, and we'll take a look at this case. Be happy to.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions for Peter? Okay, seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to go to Evelyn.
Yes, good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. Evelyn Collado. I'm the Manhattan Borough Director for New York City Comptroller Brad Lander. So tonight I just want to, bring your attention to a couple of reports. One is from last month. So if you haven't had time to get to it, I will recommend that you check our audit and investigation of the Department of Sanitation's commercial waste zone requests for proposals and cadre selection process. The objective of this review were to determine whether the DSNY commercial waste zone RFP and selection process of cadres was in compliance with Local Law 199, and to examine the safety and violation histories of selected cadres. DSNY response has been considered, and where relevant, their changes and comments have been added to this report. The other report that I'd like to call your attention to is our October monthly economic and fiscal outlook report. This month, the spotlight is on generational demographics and economic realities. We take a look at different generations from baby boomers to Gen Z and compare, how well they're doing throughout the history of these generations in New York City, demographics and economic realities. I invite you to go and check it out. You can find the reports at comptroller.nyc.gov/newsroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. Next, we'll go to Tareem Salim from Council District 2.
Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Tareem, and I'm from District Office 2. So currently, I'm sure you all know, I'm representing District 2 Office Carolina Rivera, and as she is no longer in office, technically, there's an interior division that has taken over, which I have joined. Updates from the office is that currently we've kind of wrapped things up. The staff has left, and we have one to three people kind of on the team that is taking in constituent cases. So we want people to know that we are open. Our office is open to listen to concerns. There was just a little bit of a time of transition. The speaker wanted to ensure the office is open. We're under the speaker's office. So feel free to reach out with any concerns.
And in the chat, correct? Yes. Yes. Okay. So did everyone understand? I know it's a little hard to hear. So as you know, Council District 2 office has been vacated by the council member, and is under the aegis of the speaker for the city council has staff in there now, and that's what Tareem is saying. So does anyone have any questions for, so they are still doing constituent services, although the staff that we've seen, it's now within so many days of the election. This has been planned and known. So you have any questions for Tareem, please raise your hand. Any board members online or in the room that have any questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you so much, Tareem. So next, we have, I think, is there anyone else besides? I see Andrew Chang, and that's for the Borough President's report. So we'll go ahead and go to Andrew on Zoom.
Hi, Valerie and everybody else. This will be a very quick report. One, we just wrapped up our Community Board Leadership Training Series earlier today. The one that was scheduled for tomorrow, Friday, was canceled due to what's going on in Washington, D.C. The census people couldn't make it. So we concluded our last training session earlier today. They were recorded and will be uploaded onto the MBPO YouTube page soon. So I will send the link out to those who weren't able to attend or want to rewatch the training series. Secondly, we're having a college and career fair uptown. We're partnering with the Manhattan High School's Superintendent's Office and District 75 to provide this college and career fair at Boricua College at 3755 Broadway on Saturday, the 25th of October from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And, folks can learn about resources about universities, financial aid, post-secondary opportunities open to everybody who wants to pursue further education or embarking on their education. And that's my report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Any questions for Andrew from board members in the room or on Zoom? Thanks, Andrew. Great. So next we'll go to the chair's report. So I'll just briefly update on a few items. We will have public member renewals going out next month. We will be having our public members fill out if they will, in extraordinary circumstance or a medical form, just like our regular board members do. It's just the one meeting that is the obligation. And we will also be updating the application online. It's currently not online right now. Next, we will also be recording all of our meetings. There's at least one committee that the meetings are not recorded and no audio, and so moving forward, we will be recording all meetings. It has come to my attention, and I just want to bring this to everyone else's attention. There are several AI sites that do pick up lots of public meetings, and they will take the content of them in terms of they'll generate a transcript from some sort of code that they have that they'll scrape from sites, and it will sometimes frame a narrative for what has been said in the meeting, and I understand that's made some board members uncomfortable. So I say that as nice. It is a nice, gentle reminder that with all of our meetings being recorded and also foilable, that we are speaking in a public forum, and to be mindful of what it is that is said, because it can get turned into a narrative that perhaps was not your intention. So if anyone has any questions on that, please see me after the meeting. And it's also just important for, in general, back to the recording of all meetings for transparency, and so that people can participate by going back and reviewing the meetings online. Not all of our meetings are hybrid, but we do have to have a record for them. And with a new city comptroller coming in, we likely will be up for an audit. And when I say we, I mean all of the 12 community boards. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to, and I will quickly, since we won't have a report or any resolutions from traffic this month, we have, I think for a month and a half, we have been trying to organize a joint CB1, CB2, and CB3 meeting and public hearing on the redesigning of Canal Street. So we were all three boards were working towards a meeting date of next week, but that has been postponed. There was a long delay of the agency in getting back to us to secure that, so unfortunately we cannot hold that next week. So we are looking at November for that next date, and there will be a separate presentation to each board separately, but however, this is really designed so that when someone in CB2 is like, well, couldn't we do this and mitigate the traffic to the tunnel here, it does impact CB1 so that we can all hear one another. So we have met with the agency, all three boards, chairs, and we are working towards a format that is mutually beneficial for both the boards and the and DOT. So any questions on that? As soon as we have that date locked in, we will let everyone know. Okay, great. I'm going to turn it over to Mark Diller for the district manager's report.
Thanks, everyone. And thanks, as always, go to NYU, especially Valentine, who let us in early tonight so that I could go speak at an NYU class, poor students, as well as Dorothy and Arlene. And thanks always to Jonathan and to Yosuke, who facilitated the new arrangement of chairs you see here, which we're trying out given the podium, the lectern rather, is a small distance from the column. That's why you're sitting the way you are. But you can tell me later whether you think this works. Appreciate it. Pitch for the Children's Halloween Parade. This is the PG version of the thing that's on 6th Avenue. It's on Halloween, which is a week from tomorrow. It starts at 3 o'clock. It's really darling with the children in costumes following, I believe it's the NYU cheerleaders and a really robust band. They're like a drum band. It's really fun. It's hysterical. You'll see me in costume and popcorn for everyone. Let's see. Calendar updates. The only really notable one I want to call your attention to is that SLA 1, because of Election Day, will move from Tuesday to Wednesday. It is a double up with Parks and Waterfront, but they're in different venues. So with Andrew Chang's help, we'll have recording of both meetings. We need the borough president's Zoom account. Let's see. We mentioned there was mention earlier of start of the participatory budgeting at the council level. Wanted to call your attention to the fact that there is citywide or really borough-wide participatory budgeting done through the New York City Civic Engagement Commission. I'll put the website into the chat, and it is worth taking a look at. It is one more bite at the apple. The interesting thing about citywide PB is that it's expense money instead of capital money. So for council PB, you're looking about adding capital infrastructure and so forth. The Civic Engagement Commission, you can actually hire a person to do something. Okay. The EEPC audit is all but done with great thanks to the chair. We've gotten all the trainings we're supposed to do. We've got all the certificates we're supposed to have. We've submitted them, and then we're just waiting for the clean bill of health. Many, many thanks to everyone for, especially the committee chairs, for the hard work on the district needs statement and the statement of budget priorities. That's on the agenda for tonight. But from the office's standpoint, having that come to us without twisting arms and so forth is very much appreciated, and thank you. We still have opportunities to comment on the narrative sections to make sure that the budget priorities that are being expressed find written expression in the way in which we frame the needs of our district, and we'll continue to work with you on that. And finally, a plug for the e-blast. About every week we put out an e-blast, and if you're not signed up for it, I recommend it because it has everything from the calendar and the agendas all the way down to when the Holland Tunnel is going to be closed. So with that, unless there are questions, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to go to business session, so we will start with a roll call vote. Emma?
Thanks, Valerie. All right, let's begin. Will Benesh, Keen Berger, Carter Booth, Katie Bordenaro, Anita Brandt, Amy Brenna, Rich Cacapolo, Nina Chen, Valerie De La Rosa, Chris Dignas, Arturo Fernandez,
Here.
Mar Fitzgerald.
Dylan Root here.
Thank you. Cormac Flynn, Susan Gammy, David Gruber, JJ Herrera, DJ Jane, Juliet Kay, Susan Ken, Janine Kiley, Patricia Laria, Benjamin Listman, excuse me, Ed Ma, I think still not online. Okay. Paul McDade, Erica Olson, Brian Pape, Matthew Pereira, Donna Raftery, Lois Rakoff, Bo Riccobono.
Here.
Thank you. Sean Ryan, Rocio Sands, Shirley Secunda, Frederica Siegel, Emma Smith here, Dr. Shirley Smith, Sean Sweeney, Monica Weiss, still not here, okay. Susan Wittenberg, Eugene Yu. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Emma. Moving on to the next item on our agenda, is there a motion to approve the September full board minutes?
I have a,
All in favor?
okay.
Great.
Sorry, I have an edit.
Excuse me?
There's a mistake in the minutes.
I'm sorry, who am I? Oh.
It's Arturo.
Okay, did you want to say something?
Yes, the land use resolution, the sentence that we voted to remove is still in the resolution.
Okay, so it sounds like in the minutes for September that the sentence that was voted to be removed is still in the minutes.
Correct.
Okay. So we'll need to, so it says it's in the September minutes. Okay, so you'd like to make an amendment to change that, but we just voted to approve. So I guess if there's no objection, we will reopen the minutes from the vote, and we will amend. Arturo would like to make an amendment, a motion to amend the. Do we have a second? Great. So now, with the correction to the minutes to remove the sentence that was already previously voted on at the last full board meeting in September. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Opposed? Okay. Okay. Abstentions or recusals? Okay, great. Thank you. And next, we will move on to our priorities for capital and expense budget for fiscal year 2027. So we will start out with our top 3 district needs, unless anyone objects to that order, since that's the way it's in the packet. And then we will go to the full capital and expense budget priorities as one item to vote on. So this is also the order that we voted them on in exec. So this is being presented by from out of the executive committee on Tuesday. We're not on that yet?
We're not on that yet.
Yeah, we're not on that
That's
yet.
fine.
Yeah, so we're on the top 3 district needs. So I don't know what page that is of your PDF, if everyone wants to shout that out, but it's the top 3 district needs. Do we have any discussion on these? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so Janine?
Yeah, I want to propose an additional one for the top 3. Allocate sufficient funds for the conveyance of a portion of 10th Avenue between Gansevoort and Little West 12th Street from the New York State Department of Transportation to New York City in order to demap 10th Avenue, and so that the location would allow the floor area to permit more housing to be developed at Gansevoort Square. This gets into the weeds for people who don't have a picture in front of them. I don't know if we can share it on the screen, but part of the original plan that EDC presented to us had this little triangular piece that needed to be demapped. And meanwhile, there's a whole street that could be added to this, which could increase the footprint for everything and potentially create more housing. Thank you.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor. So before we can discuss it, we need a second on the motion. Okay, so a second. So we have a motion proposed by Janine to add a district need of. I don't have the text just right in front of me, so let me see. 1 second.
I can text it to you.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. Okay, I see it. Okay, so allocate sufficient funds for the conveyance of the portion of 10th Avenue between Gansevoort and Little West 12th Street. Oh, here we go. Thank you. Oh, okay, it's on the Zoom chat as well if anyone's on Zoom. Allocate sufficient funds for the conveyance of the portion of 10th Avenue between Gansevoort and Little West 12th. So this is extending beyond the sliver of what is proposed. And so to add this in for a top 3 district needs, so I guess we would need to vote to add this to the top 3 district needs, and I don't know if we need to be a separate item or not to remove. We need to remove one of them, and then if there's an order change, we would need to do that as well. So we could do that all in one go if people are comfortable with that. If there are any objection to that. to do that all at once, or do you want to just talk about this as one separate item? Well, there's a motion on the floor to include, so by default, one would need to drop out, and then there's the question of if there's a reorder based on this new one. So yeah, so let's just, why don't we then approve, and then by default, one will have to be out. So we'll do these, I guess, quickly and separately. Yes, it is open to discuss what is on the table. Okay, can we get a microphone to Frederica? If we could just have a microphone in the front section and the back section as a default, it would be very helpful.
Is there one back here? You've got the one back here. Okay, good.
I think that sounds like an interesting idea. I don't know how we would guarantee that the space would go to. My point is that how would we be able to guarantee that this extra demand area would go toward housing and not toward Whitney? And if we couldn't guarantee that, then I would wonder about the advisability of.
All right, thanks for your question, Frederica. So just so I understand, your question is, or comment is, how do we make sure that the additional area of 10th Avenue would go toward the housing versus used for or allocated by the Whitney? So we're trying to share a diagram on the Zoom, but this is from our, I think it's our December resolution, where we included this as part of our initial first large resolution on this topic, and there was a diagram as part of that discussion because we had asked for the conveyance at the time as well. But if you remember the site, it's divided north and south. The area of 10th Avenue that we're talking about is completely to the west, so it forms a new western border both to the north and the south. And so unless they carve out in a really odd way, you know, this should be allocated toward housing because it's directly to the west of where the 10,000 square feet is currently allocated toward housing. So it's completely contiguous with that 10,000 square feet. And in fact, it makes it approximately, I kind of eyeballed how wide 10th Avenue is at that area, at that place, because it's not, I'm assuming it's at least 60 feet wide. If it is at least 60 feet wide, that would increase the area from 10,000 square feet to 10,660 square feet. So it's a 66% increase, 2/3 larger. We're still.
Any additional? If you could get a microphone, so we can call on you and then not have.
Yeah. So in the original site plan that EDC presented, it was approximately 10,000 square feet is the footprint for housing. Adding on 10th Avenue to the west of that is another 660 square feet. So it would make the total area 10,600, am I saying this right? 16,600 square feet. It's 2/3 larger. It's not insignificant.
So this image has been shared with me to put up here.
Right. So you'll see up there that little tiny area in yellow. On the northern part is the area dedicated to housing. It's one of the smallest areas, and we're proposing that as part of the district needs. The area that we had already asked for in the December resolution by land use. I'll have to double check if it's December, but the earlier resolution on this from land use, you know, if we cut out the area and put the southern border where the 10,000 square feet cuts off, then that's another 660 square feet. Does that make sense?
So if you could get well,
No,
first
600.
if we could get a microphone, and then I will call on you because I just can't have people shouting out. So Do you have anything additional? Anita, can we get microphones over here? Because I've got some people. Okay. I didn't know. Did Anita, did you have anything else? You can go.
Should I go?
Yeah, go.
No, so I'm a little, I don't remember exactly what was in the December resolution, so I'm just trying to understand a little more of the, do we know, what's the difference in units that this would allow? And what's the approximate cost of that plot? So when we say conveyance, we're essentially saying we want the city to purchase it from the state or pay fair market value. Is that what we're saying? I'm just curious what the number of units is and like what the approximate cost differential is.
Yes, I mean.
Could I just?
I'm sorry. Does somebody have their hand raised? Okay, Katie. Okay, Carter. I didn't see your hand raised.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that this gives the space in order to do what we had recommended in our previous resolution by giving a larger footprint. It wouldn't be available to the Whitney because it's not part of the meatpacker site. It's part of the state site. But the point is 10th Avenue is obsolete. It's no longer needed because of the deindustrialization of the area. And this is a part of a discussion that we had had about creating that space so you could draw all the streets out to West Street directly without having all this wasted space. Since there's already a discussion of transferring state property to the city, this is the time when one would do that and would also allow potentially for a reorganization of the process that's already in play right now. And that would allow better use of this whole space, and it wouldn't necessarily all go to housing per se, but what it does is it begins the process of extending the footprint of the development site, which you see is just this little corner at the top, which Eugene had pointed out. So I think that this facilitates what we had already voted on in allowing it to happen, and it requires a number of other steps in order to actually go into play. But if we're not asking for it, it's never going to happen. And now is the time to happen because there's no shovels in the ground or anything happening yet. So now's the time to start that.
Thank you, Carter. So just so it's clear, because first of all, you're never supposed to use blue on a, you're never supposed to use blue on a map because that indicates water, so that's probably very confusing. Number one. Number two, can someone clear up just for anyone who might not have, it's been a few months since that resolution. So what does this was already a past position of the first resolution, but what this means to extend it, just so we know, it's not to just transfer and give the rights to the city. It's actually to not have cars go through there anymore. Can someone clear that up so that it's very crystal clear to everyone?
Sure, I could clear that up. So currently can you hear me? So currently that part of 10th Avenue is used for getting the trucks in and out of the meat packers, which was previously on the northern part of this site. And as part of the deindustrialization of this, what we had discussed at land use was that there's no longer going to be a need for trucks to come in and out every day because there's not going to be a daily shipment of meat, unfortunately. So the use of the site has changed. And so there's no longer going to be a need for trucks to come in on that portion of 10th Avenue, and our previous position was that we asked for that to be transferred along with the site, the sliver that was going to be transferred anyway, and for that additional site, and apologies, I was the one that did it in blue, but for the blue area to be used for demapped and not used as a street anymore, and to be added to the area. And Frederica, if I could just go back and correct my math, this is an area, it's a parallelogram of 110 feet by 60 feet tall, and so it's 6,600 square feet, assuming it's a 60 square feet, and it's at least 60 square feet wide. 60 feet, sorry, not square feet.
Okay, Katie and then Frederica. Can we get a microphone to Frederica while Katie's speaking?
It's dead.
No, it needs to be closer to the thing.
Oh, does this better? Yes. Oh, thank you. I just wanted to add something to what Will had to say, and perhaps there are people in this room who might be able to answer. I'm thinking of Janine and maybe Tracy. When 75 Morton Street went from being a state facility for those in developmental needs, transferred to a city use, public school, was there any money changed hands? Does anyone because Will asked about if it would be market rate, and Janine, I thought, would know the answer.
Well, first of all, 75 Morton was a building, and that was sold for $40 million, which is well. But this piece right here, this triangle, was transferred for $0. So everything's negotiable.
Thank you.
So is it appropriate to change the language to say that in order to demap 10th Avenue for the express purpose of allowing more housing?
Carter, did you have something you wanted to add? Do we have a mic?
Yeah, I said no, because it won't all be. Because a lot of that is to the south isn't going to be developed in front of the Whitney. That's not buildable space. So this is a flexible space, creating some open space in there. But the point is that you have to take it all in order to remove 10th Avenue and put it into the city's possession in order for the city to be able to use that space. That's step one. We're trying to go many steps down the road on this, and I think the first step is just to acquire it and then to come up with the better plan. Again, nothing has been built here yet, and so you want to get the space first from the state and not have.
Right, but the RFP is already out, right?
Right, but that doesn't mean nobody's been selected, so I think that it's still modifiable as far as, but without taking the first step, you can't do anything. So I think we're trying to be very prescriptive when the first step is to demap the street, transfer it from the state to the city. It's not necessary there.
Right.
Anymore.
I don't think
And
my
then-
language precludes that. It doesn't say all, it just says for the purpose, but
Well,
I get your
right
point.
now we have something
Yeah,
on the
the
floor.
point, I think that that's the intent, but there's many different parts to that, right?
Okay, is there any other comments?
Oh, I have a question.
I don't see a hand raised. Okay, well, I didn't see
I
it.
raised it.
So, Nina? Well, I can't see them all.
So is there a cost associated with this? Do we know the cost? Or we don't know? Okay.
Okay, so we can't just, if you have something you'd like to add to the conversation for everyone to hear, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I don't have an answer for that. I think it was $0 for the triangle. Shirley?
Yeah, I just have a question.
Mhm.
Okay, so then it's the map. So would the next step be to work toward rezoning? I mean, would that be
No.
the next step?
No.
What would be the next step? I'm just curious. This would be a long, long process, right? No? No, not the mapping.
No, it
I'm
would not
talking
be a
about
long
what comes
process.
after that.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it's already, it's pre-ULURP, it would not, a developer's not been selected yet. If anything, the time to act on a past board position if this board chooses to put this as a district needs.
Yeah. We went back and looked at the RFP that EDC put out, and the process of the RFP would next be a ULURP process. So this would just be another piece thrown into the ULURP process that's already going to be happening.
Any other comments on this online from board members or from, is there any unwillingness to vote on, okay, Janine?
I would like to suggest the word affordable be added in front of the word housing. And Carter, I don't know if you'd.
Carter?
I'll second
I can't
it.
see you, Carter. Okay, so we can't second it because we have an amendment already on the floor.
I'm amending the
Okay,
amendment.
if everyone's okay with that, unless you would like me to take for us to take two separate votes, then as Janine has said, I think everyone can see the text up there. So is there any unwillingness to vote on this proposed addition to the top 3 district needs? Will, do you have a question? Emma, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question if you don't mind. So this would just be a vote to add it. Do we have to, we will in tandem remove another one? Is that the
We will
next step?
then have a discussion of what to
which gets
remove.
removed. Okay, thank you.
And or to reorder, or we could maybe do
Thank
those
you.
all together if no one objects to that. So right now, this is just about adding it. Is there any unwillingness to vote? Okay, so all those in favor for adding this proposed, to the top 3 district needs for Gansevoort Square. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? Okay, passes unanimously. So next, now we have 4 district needs, so we need to narrow it down to 3. So in this conversation, is anyone want to make a motion for, any discussion on that? Will, do you have a microphone? Can we get Will a microphone?
I mean, I guess I would move that we remove the third one. It's super important, but I mean, we already kind of had the discussion and had them ordered for a reason. I think most people, at least at exec, agreed our top 2 are our top 2. So I guess that'd be my proposal. Again, I don't think it means we don't think the educational one's important, but we just have to choose 3.
So we need to, so is there, you want to make a motion to remove the third
I'm just
item?
starting the discussion. I haven't made a motion yet.
Okay.
That's just my thoughts.
Okay.
I mean, I
Janine,
can,
did
but
you want to say something, or are you just walking around? Okay. Okay.
Hello. I'm for more affordable housing, so I don't mind removing the third one. I was sitting here trying to talk to the representative from Eric Botcher's office to see what we could do about this. I would say we should remove number 3 and put in this new one that we've voted on.
Okay, Susan Gammy?
Yeah, I am in agreement with the previous 2 community board members. I'd also like to add, because, it hurts to drop that third one, just want to mention that might be something with, that could naturally migrate to a proposal for participatory budgeting. Some aspects of that school one could naturally migrate to possible participatory budget proposals. So there's another place within our community and within our structure.
Oh, if we could not have the back and
for
forth.
that to move.
Yeah, if we could not have the back and forth, we actually can't, so we can't have any back and forth. So this is, just to be clear, we haven't gotten to the vote on the expense and capital priorities, but it is on there. So it is not that it's being completely removed, it's just not one of the top 3 district needs. Okay? There's no motions on the floor, but also I will call on you, Carter, and then I will call on Nina, so if we could get microphones. But if there's any sense to the order, we could, obviously the discussion will continue, but I'm just putting it out there that we could, if someone proposed, we can either vote for the removal and then vote on the order, or we could do them all in one. It is up to how the motions are made. So just pointing that
I'll
out.
let somebody else make the motion, but just from a bookkeeping perspective, I don't think we can add, we added something to top priority without what it says up there, which is adding it under number 2, because it wasn't mentioned. It should be added under the Department of Citywide Administrative Services as number 2
Oh, okay, I missed
on
that.
the
So then-
capital, and
okay.
then also to the top priorities, but it has to be in one place first. before
Okay,
it
so
can
then that would be the motion
rolled
to be
up.
made
So I'm
then.
just putting that
Okay,
out there.
so I'm
it's
sorry, I
all-
didn't catch that. Nobody else caught it before I asked for the vote. So it is a little bit of small type for me, so I apologize. I could not see it. So if someone would like to make a motion or wants to discuss it being number 2, I'm happy to call on people to discuss. Okay, you want to make a motion?
Put the language in that up there. Okay, I'll
that.
Yeah, it could be one nice clean motion if that's what this body chooses to do.
So we're going to,
Gansevoort Square. Okay, so I'm confused because is it number 2 in the district needs that's being proposed, or is it number 2 under the city agency? It's not clear. Is it clear to everyone? Janine, do you want to clear that up? Because we're not voting on where that goes on the expense and capital. So are we wanting to vote it to be I'm just trying to get a clean vote, so a clean motion, so that way we could move on to the next thing. So are you proposing moving it to number 2 of the top 3 district needs and moving?
I actually didn't state that. State. This would be the first.
Okay.
The 3 would be the current number 2, which is, and this would this one at the top of
DCAS? Oh. Okay, so we can talk about anything changing on the expense and capital when we vote on those, but we're only. Sure.
To that one.
So.
Second.
Okay, so all those in favor to remove the 3rd district need for Harvest Collegiate High School, move the current number 2 of affordable housing at 2 Howard Street to the number 3 spot of the top 3 district needs, and add in the Gansevoort Square district need as the new number 2. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? The motion passes. So next we're going to go to the capital and expense budget priorities. And we voted on these as one unit at executive committee. So if that's how this body would like to address those here, are there any additional, any discussion?
I'd like to make a motion to add, and this is actually, I'm sorry to do this. This is the land use and housing on our list of expense budget priorities, and this is a administrative error, which we noticed when we were preparing our committee report, but we had a wrong version that was sent to executive, unfortunately. So I would like to propose that we add back in 3 expense and budget priorities to our land use expense budget priorities for fiscal year 27. There is a pamphlet or printout that was available at the front Is it also in the packet?
It's also in the board package that everyone got in committee reports.
Okay.
So the full text is in the room in two different ways.
Okay. So our committee report is correct, but specifically to draw your attention, this would be for adding in expense budget items number 1, number 3, and number 4. If you'd like, I can quickly read through the text of number 1, 3, and 4.
Do we need to read them out? Or could we just, if you could just do like 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, give me just, it's
Just
yeah, it's just numbers 1, 3, and 4 on the expense budget priorities. It's on page.
So is there any, are you trying to find what page it's on?
Yeah,
or?
I'm trying to find out what page is on the.
I don't know. Is there any discussion? I mean, what are we waiting on?
Sorry.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, it's in the packet after SLA. Should be after SLA. Yeah, so it's in after SLA in the packet, and it's on page 2, 3, and 4 of the land use report. So expense budget priority 1, 3, and 4. Thank you.
Any further discussion? I'm sorry, Will, can we, yeah.
Are some of these repeats of last year, or are they all new? I'm just curious.
Number 1 is new. Number 3 is new, but it's based off the request for the Hudson Square rezoning study.
Similar, yeah,
So
similar language.
it's similar to that. And it incorporates one we had last year, which was a request for the Loft Board to produce a report of housing units, and that's now part of the larger request for a study of the Soho NoHo rezoning. And then number 4 is new. That's a study for a holistic study of the Gansevoort Square proposal area. So since this was not proposed last year, these are all new.
Is there any further discussion on Zoom or in the room? Is there any unwillingness to vote on adding in what Eugene has proposed? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? Okay, those passed unanimously.
Thank you.
So that was to add those in. Is there any further discussion on the capital and expense budget priorities? Okay.
No, I'm sorry, not discussion on this. Just may I ask that all of that be sent, the 3 be called out in an email? Thank you. I appreciate it. Excuse the interruption.
Is there any further discussion? There was discussion about, from the previous vote, to move the Harvest Collegiate one to number 1 under the Department of Education. And then, was there something else that, there was another change someone mentioned that we haven't voted on? Will?
I think, I guess, the one that we made our top 3 also has to go into the full list, right?
Yes,
So
under
maybe that's the other
DCAS. Oh,
one?
yes, under DCAS, so making that number 2 under DCAS. So if we could just get a clean vote on that while we're voting on this. Okay, for DCAS and Gansevoort Square, does someone want to make a motion for those 2 changes? We can move this along.
I will move that.
Okay, great. So we have a motion on the table to move Harvest Collegiate to number 1 under DOE, the Department of Education, and to move the Gansevoort Square top district need under number 1 under DCAS, which is the Department of Citywide Administrative Services. Is there any unwillingness to vote on this? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? So that is added. Now, quickly, as amended, is there anyone unwillingness to vote on the full expense and capital budget priorities? Okay, so all those in favor of approving the amended capital and expense budget priorities? In favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? Thank you very much. Now we will go to reports and resolutions from our standing committees. So we have the Landmarks Committee. Brian, will you be giving that report? Or Susan, you'll be giving that report. Thank you.
All right, we held our hybrid meeting on October 17th. It was a long meeting with lots of items, and I will go through this quickly. The first item on the agenda was 280 West 11th Street. It was an application to alter the front entrance and studio penthouse window, construct new stair and elevator bulkheads and chimney extensions at the roof, and an extension at the rear. The committee recommended approval of the reconfiguration of the front facade windows, the areaway, and the ironwork, and denial of the entrance unless it includes framing in a historic design for the door, approval of the design for the windows at the rear facade, and approval of the lot line windows and the flue extensions, also approval of the penthouse with the suggestion that the studio window be smaller and the height of the front wall be increased to minimize the visibility of the railing. Additionally, we ask that there be clarification at LPC as to the regulations concerning the use of the private garden area to extend the rear facade, and that there is dialogue between the applicant and the association members, and that in any case, strong consideration be given to reducing the depth of the ground floor extension in order to conform to the customary use of this area in other houses in the association. Brief explanation of that is that this is a very unusual situation where there's an association of property owners who share a common garden that is governed by an association. The applicant maintained that they were exempt from certain customary restrictions in this agreement. Certainly not for us to decide that. But there were many members of the public who were members of this association, all of whom spoke to the history and practice in that garden, and all of them made clear that that the proposed extension was really in violation of the spirit of the agreement. So we are just asking for the agency to pay a little attention to that in their consideration. Next item was 118 West 12th Street. The application is to legalize the installation of a stoop gate. We recommended denial of the application unless it is fitted with an automatic closure mechanism. Subsequent to the meeting, the applicant agreed to install an automatic closure, and therefore this condition for approval has been satisfied. Next one, 711 Greenwich Street. Application is for a revocable consent to install an ADA accessible ramp and steps. We recommend denial of the design of the ramp unless it is reconfigured with the elimination of the steps and installation of a railing or other measures that ensure its compliance with code for safety, and denial of the application unless the concrete ramp is faced and black metal and railings are painted to match, and approval of the revocable consent for the installation of the ramp on the sidewalk to DOT is not recommended unless the recommendations in clauses A and B above are carried out. That was unanimous. 540 Hudson Street, application is to install a vinyl mural on storefront windows. We recommended denial of the non-historic decorative vinyl window decoration. 102 Green Street, application is to legalize work performed without LPC approval, consisting of replacement of the cast iron vault steps with diamond plate. We recommended approval of the replacement of the vault lights with diamond plate as installed. Just as a point of general information, when it comes to these applications that seek approval on work that was done without LPC consent, we have a very strong, very unwavering way of looking at this, which is how would we have ruled on, how would we have recommended this be considered if it had come to us appropriately. So it's just clean. Any application like this we regard as a fresh application and handle as such. Next one is 392 West Broadway. The application is to convert the existing building to 4 residential units with existing retail store on the ground floor, construct a penthouse rooftop structure extending the existing parapets vertically, removing the ladders from the existing fire escapes, and removing the dividing mullion at the windows at the fire escape, and removal of the existing elevator bulkhead on the roof. We recommended approval of the removal of the fire escape ladders and the rooftop penthouse and attendant modifications to the roof and parapet. 380 West Broadway, application to legalize replacement of storefront doors, alterations to storefront illuminated cladding, and AstroTurf panel, and installation of signage without LPC permits. We recommended denial of the window framing and illuminated cladding, denial of the door replacement with its signs, and of the AstroTurf installation. We recommended that the window framing, illumination, and AstroTurf be removed and that the original door be restored. And we recommended approval of the banner, provided that commission staff verify that it conforms to regulations for this address. That's it. Did I skip 6? Thank you, Brian. Oh, yeah, thanks. Okay, 6, 13 to 15 Bank Street. Application is to replace ironwork at the areaway and parlor floor windows to match 13 Bank Street, add a rooftop pergola, paint the rear facade, and modify masonry openings at the rear facade to align with 13 Bank Street. We resolved to recommend approval of the modifications to 15 Bank Street to match the original and approved condition at number 13, resulting in 2 matching yet distinctly separate buildings. Now that's it. Rocio.
Microphone.
Thank you. Point of information. On number, with the garden, I think that was number 1. What does the deed say regarding the property? Do you know?
We were not presented with the deed, nor is it typically for us to really weigh in on. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You know, and it was, you know, the applicant represented one point of view, several members of the Community Garden Association, some of whom had been there for generations and were 3rd-generation members of families that had been involved in the original inception of this thing, you know, represented otherwise, and that's certainly not anything for us to weigh in on, but we did want attention put on that matter. Sure.
Is there any additional comments on this? Are we ready to vote? Any unwillingness to vote on landmarks items? I'd honestly prefer to stand up. Any unwillingness to vote on landmarks items 1 through 8?
Can I pull 1 and 6?
You have a question? Or, I'm sorry, Arturo, you have your hand raised?
Yes, can I pull 1 and 6 to vote separately?
You want to call them? You have, I can't understand.
Can I pull 1 and 6 to vote separately on?
You want to call out, is what you're saying.
Yes.
You want to call them out. Okay, got it. So the way to do that for everyone, for Robert's rules, is to call out. You want to call out number 1 and 6. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so calling out number 1 and 6, is there any unwillingness to vote on items 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7? Sounds like a children's show. I'm sorry? Oh, and 8, thank you. Okay, so all those in favor for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? Those pass. So now we will start with number 1. Does anyone want to discuss landmarks resolution number 1?
I'll
Arturo?
start ahead. Yes, so I think with 1 and 6, my concern here is the net loss in housing moving from multifamily units to single family housing. And for those reasons, I will be voting no.
Hey, Arturo. Yeah, that's not a landmarks issue. We are totally sympathetic to that, which is why, even though it isn't a landmarks issue, we made sure to note that change for the record in our first whereas. But in terms of approval or denial, we don't really have the standing to do that unless it's a landmarks specific issue, which it is not. So I hope that clarifies that for you.
Any further discussion on number 1? I guess I'll sit down again. Okay, if there any unwillingness to vote on landmarks item number 1, seeing none, all those in favor for landmarks item number 1? Opposed?
Nay.
Abstentions? Okay, so we have any opposed in the room and on Zoom? I
Here.
see Arturo is in opposition. Okay. And, all right, so now we have number 6, I know. Landmarks resolution number 6, item number 6. For discussion, would anyone like to start that discussion? Okay, so you called it out, but you,
Well,
we were
I
gonna
made
take
my
a
comments
second vote.
during my previous comment, unless you want me to say the same thing.
Okay, so now we will, vote on landmarks item number 6. I'm not seeing any unwillingness to vote. So all those in favor for landmarks item number 6? And opposed?
Nay.
Okay, did you get that? Okay. And any abstentions or recusals? Okay, then those pass with the 1 opposition on number 2 and number 6, otherwise unanimous. Next, we have street activities and resiliency. Will?
Okay. Hi, everybody. So we had a fairly standard meeting. A number of street activities. I believe everything was unanimous. Yes, it was. Common themes continue to be extreme amount of commercial events, pop-ups, etc. So that's most of what we continue to deal with every month. So number 1, Armadillo Gaia, that was load in, load out only. That was unanimous approve. That's October 14th to 16th, already happened. Number 2, October 14th, Rails Nolita, Elizabeth between Houston and Prince. Unanimous approve. Number 3, AIM de Leon, I think that's That's what the application said, but it's Aim Leon Dore, or Door. That's October 15th to 17th, Mulberry between Prince and Spring, curb lane only east. That was unanimous approve. Number 4, October 15th to 17th, Overland Entertainment, Green between Canal and Grand, curb lane west. That was unanimous approve. Number 5, October 16th to 19th, Houseplant Shopify. That's unanimous approved. There have been a couple in this space. There was an issue with one event before. We're kind of monitoring to make sure that these run smoothly. They claimed it was a different person who did it. So that was unanimous approve. Number 6, Do Away, October 17th, Broadway between Broome and Springs, partial sidewalk closure, unanimous approved. Number 7, White Fox Matcha Cart, 513 Broadway, October 19th, Broadway between Broome and Spring, curb lane west, that was unanimous approve. 8, 9, and 10 are all related to Tops. That is the athletic card company. They are doing multiple curb lane closures. Same thing, different places, 3 different places in CB2. We unanimously approved all 3 of those. Number 11, October 21st, Amex Sigma, West Broadway between Prince and West Houston, curb lane east. That was unanimous approve. Number 12, Sansi Skincare brand, October 22nd to 26th, Green between Prince and Houston, curb lane west. That was unanimous approved. 13, Monos, October 25th, 26th, Mercer between Prince and Spring, partial sidewalk. That was unanimous approved. Number 14, Parlux Eilish, October 25th to 26th, Broadway between Houston and Prince, sidewalk and curb lane. That was unanimous approved. 15, BOJ Coffee Cart, Broadway between Prince and Spring, October 30th. That was a no-show, deny, unanimous. Number 16, October 31st, Halloween Pickleball Hangout, Gay Street between Christopher and Waverly. Not a good idea to do something on Halloween there, but that was a no-show, unanimous, deny. Number 17, November 1st, that was another one of the coffee cart no-shows. That was a unanimous deny, no-show. Number 18, November 1st, Robin Hood Carbone Marathon event, Jersey between Lafayette and Mulberry. This was a unanimous approve with the provided that FDNY and SAPO determined there was a 15-foot emergency lane possible. We did follow up with SAPO, and they said it is a narrow street, but it is apparently 15 feet according to them. So that is a unanimous approve, and they were comfortable with that width. Number 19, November 10th to 16th, Zepbound pop-up, Crosby between Grant and Howard. That was a no-show, deny, unanimous. And then there were 2 FYI renewals adopted unanimously.
Great. So we have items 1 through 21, which includes 20 to 21 renewals to vote on. Any discussion on those? Dr. Smith, can we get a microphone to Dr. Smith? Thank you.
Thank you. Did you say there was an incident with item 5 with house plant?
Not with that specifically. There was another, that is a Shopify pop-up space, so they do rotating pop-ups there that seem to be sponsored by different people who come in and use the space. There was a previous one over the summer, I believe, where they said it was going to be just a sidewalk, and they ended up closing the whole street, and it caused a lot of traffic issues. So we ask every applicant about that. So we say, look, this happened before. Can you guarantee you're not going to close the street? And they said they wouldn't. So.
Thank you.
We actually, I didn't, you did remind me though, I missed something in one of the applications. Where was that? There was a second one at that same location. Item 12, there was a second therefore, where we said any decision that is made by SAPO to change the nature of the event, we need to be notified immediately. Because last time that happened, we didn't know till the event was happening that they'd moved it to a full street.
Thank you.
Are
On
there any,
item number
Katie?
10, on item number 10, Will, it's going to go, this is about the baseball card store next to the Crazy Industry Pizza line, and you said they're going around the corner onto Bleecker Street, and that's going to be between Christopher and Grove? Do you know, did they tell you which block they're going on?
I believe it is, well, it's already happened. We have to follow up and see where they went. I think we were telling them to go like over by where Mama's 2 is. I don't know which, right around the corner that way. So it would have been
South, south, okay, thank you.
Okay, are there any additional discussion on street activities items 1 through 21, which includes 20 to 21 renewals? Is there any unwillingness to vote on those items? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals?
I'm a recusal.
Okay.
On the 20 and 21. I am a voting member of the Meatpacking Bid.
Okay, so we got that. Okay, so next we're going to go to MS Smith for the Human Services Report with 3 resolutions to vote on.
Thank you, Valerie. Okay, you'll note in your packet that the first 2 are included with this month's report, and the third is from June. I will go in order. This month we heard a presentation from the Mayor's Office of Community Mental Health on the Be Heard program. We wrote a resolution corresponding to that. We also had a discussion and developed a resolution related to the use of masks by ICE. Those are in the first section. And then finally, we voted, because we did not have quorum in our June meeting, on a resolution emerging from a presentation with Health and Hospitals, Bellevue Hospital, related to the closure of Mount Sinai. So there's a third resolution on that.
So is there any discussion on human services agenda or items, 1 and 2 from the September meeting, and agenda or item number 3 from the June meeting, which did not have a quorum? Any discussion? Okay. Is there any unwillingness to vote on human services items 1 through 3 as presented? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? All right, those pass unanimously. So next we're going to go to cannabis licensing. Mara Fitzgerald.
Well, I can freestyle it. We had 2 applications, well, we had 2 agenda items this month. One was a renewal for Dagmar Cannabis at 412 West Broadway. They came up on 2 years and came for renewal. They were our 3rd renewal so far, 4th renewal so far. These are the first dispensaries in New York State, so it's very exciting whenever we do one of these. It was pretty straightforward. We reviewed changes and the committee voted to approve. The second agenda item was a review of the impending cannabis showcase permit regulations. They are hefty, and the committee decided to lay it over until next month, so we all have a really good chance to review them and make great recommendations to the OCM in the state.
Okay, is there any discussion? Can we get a microphone to Dr. Smith? And then Donna.
Thank you. The renewal for Robin Hood Cannabis, is it associated with the Robin Hood Foundation?
Not at all.
Okay, just has that name?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they operate under the name Dagmar.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and Donna?
And then I have a question on number 4. How are we supporting the 2 top tables and chairs that are along the curbside?
There have been no complaints, and I actually called the Soho Alliance and asked, like, has there been a problem? Are there problems? Has anybody complained? Is it impeding traffic? And
That's the area that the city is allowed to use. It's not for stores to use. That's for the city to use. A-frames aren't supposed to be there. Nothing.
A-frames are allowed according to the state. And it's not, it's on the edge, the last time I went by, anyway. The A-frame? The A-frame, if I'm recalling correctly.
But what I'm saying is that curbside area is not for.
I think it's me, Mark, I didn't turn it on. That curbside area, thankfully, is not for the business to use. It's for the city to be able to use. So you're not allowed to put tables and chairs on the curbside.
It's actually the New York City DOT pedestrian mobility plan as the clear path is that furnishing area, which is ironically called the furnishing area, but is not to have anything in it. Used to be
Well,
called the amenity zone.
We will let them know.
Any further discussion? Is there any unwillingness to vote on?
Right.
Well, the body is not making, no one has made a motion, so I'm moving the meeting along, but if someone would like to make a motion, I will entertain that off the floor.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion, now I have to figure out how to rewrite it, but to remove the support of the chairs at the curbside.
It wasn't support, though. There's no support. It was a statement of fact.
Then I would ask that they remove the chairs on the curbside. I would ask that there is something in here that they remove them, that it's not just okay to have them.
I believe there's a process outside this board to do that, though, because we don't regulate their
So we actually
outdoor.
did this in several resolutions regarding the clear path.
I mean, this is written as though do not impede pedestrian traffic. It does impede pedestrian traffic, and it's not supposed to be in that location. So
why don't we just strike all mention? And then whoever is so inspired can
I will call on
pursue
Janine
whatever
next,
to get
and then I
rid of
can't
them if
see the
they-
hand in the far back. I can't see behind the pillar. Okay, hi, Patricia.
I propose that we just delete whereas number, is that number 5?
Number
4.
Fine.
I absolutely accept that amendment.
Yeah, is there a second?
I have not. Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. Lois, do you have a question? Yeah, if you could get a microphone.
What was the purpose of them having those tables outside? What were they going to accomplish?
Originally, community building, which, I'm told and I've seen personally, we were told by the applicant and by stakeholders that, the tables and chairs were well received. They are used predominantly by the community, Soho residents, and they're not serving food. Nobody's smoking out there at all. Every time I walk by, they put bowls out for the dogs, and people, who are walking their dogs stop. They have a chat. It's actually really nice, in my opinion. We weren't advocating for or against them, just stating that they were there, and this has been the response. But I'm happy to strike it. You would have to talk to them about.
So we do have a motion that's been seconded on the floor, so we would need to, if there's.
I'd like to add that when they first came, they discussed planters, I recall, and we gave them guidelines.
Planters
I'll
are
call
not allowed
Donna,
also in the curbside, so it wouldn't matter if it's planters, chairs, dog bowls, or anything else. That's not the business, it's city property.
So, yes.
It actually doesn't matter if people like it or not, they can take that up with the city.
Just point of fact that it was discussed. That's all.
It sounds as though there is a motion on the floor to.
I think we had another question.
Okay, can we get a microphone? Yeah, I don't see any hands raised. I can't.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think she
Sean?
originally put it up, the owner put it up there a couple of years ago because when they had all these underground illegal smoke shops, and it was just draining her business. So I think she did it as almost to attract attention. And now that they're all closed, she's doing well. I don't think she'd mind if she moves it into by the store where it belongs. But we've
Okay.
got no complaints.
Okay, so Dr. Smith?
Mar, who were the stakeholders that you referenced? Are you talking only about the Soho Alliance?
I am, because
Okay,
nobody else weighed in, nobody wrote in, nobody.
Okay.
And in all these years, nobody's said anything.
Okay.
And I'm not in Soho super often, but when I am, I don't have a problem walking by as, a pedestrian personally, but I'm not, again, advocating for or against, let's just strike,
Yeah. it
Number
is-
So
it
like I
does seem
said, we have a
proper.
motion on the floor to strike number 4. Is that correct? And Janine?
We'll actually look this up, but they had something like 700 reviews, and they were almost a 5, which is unheard of, I think, for a small business. So I think they're doing quite well in terms of reception. I mean, people like them and like them enough to write a good review.
Okay. So it
Yes.
sounds like, so there's a motion on the floor to remove number 4. So is there any unwillingness to vote, or is there any just more discussion that this body would like to have on that motion? Okay, all those in favor to remove number 4?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, so you're opposed? Okay, so do we have that? And then you would like to, so I've not called for that yet, so we voted in favor, we voted who opposes. Any abstentions? So we'd like to abstain. Okay, so we will put that down as an abstention. Any recusals? Okay, then that passes with 1 abstention. Next, we will go to SLA 1 and SLA 2. Donna Raftery.
Okay. SLA 1, we had 29 applications and 20 decisions. The rest were layovers or withdrawals. All the decisions were unanimous unless I call it out, and all of the decisions were deny unless with stipulations unless I say otherwise. The first one is 179 Prince LLC, doing business as Reveille Luncheonette at 179 Prince. This was a class change from a restaurant wine to an on-premise restaurant license. And I guess that's that. Okay, so that's deny unless, but I'm not going to keep saying that. Toshka, New York City LLC, DBA Toshka, 151 Elizabeth Street. This is a transfer application on premise for a restaurant. Supernatural Wine Inc. and Supernatural Wines New York LLC, doing business as La Campagna de Vin Sur Naturals at 247, 249 Center Street. This is a corporate change. One Tiger LLC, doing business as Tiger South Soho Bar, 1 Howard Street. This was an alteration to add sidewalk seating. It was deny unless, but it was 6 in favor and 1 oppose. One Tiger LLC, doing business as Sosos, 189, 191 Center Street, alteration to add sidewalk. This was also deny unless, with 6 in favor and 1 oppose. Kiko NYC LLC, doing business as Kiko, 307 Spring Street, alteration to add sidewalk. This was a denial. Mulberry Street Bar LLC, doing business as Mulberry Street Bar, 176 and a half Mulberry Street, alternation to add sidewalk. This was a denial. Cafe Vetro Inc., doing business as Epistrophe at 200 Mott Street. This was an alteration to add sidewalk, denial. Nuzo 21 Inc., doing business as Local 92, 244 Mulberry Street. This was an alteration to add sidewalk and was a denial. TTMB Restaurant Inc., doing business as L'Amour, 171 Mulberry, alternation to add sidewalk, denial. Il Commendatore Restaurant Inc., doing business as Casabella, 127A Mulberry Street, alteration to add sidewalk, denial. Pisano Restaurant Corp., doing business as Pisano of Mulberry Street, 136 Mulberry. This was an alternation to add sidewalk and a denial. Cafe Silvestri Inc., doing business as Cafe Napoli at 130 Mulberry Street, alteration to add sidewalk, denial. ASC Inc., doing business as Lanana at 134 Mulberry Street. It's an alteration to add sidewalk and was a denial. Zia Maria Little Italy Inc., doing business as Zia Maria at 138 Mulberry Street, alteration to add sidewalk and a denial. BEF Restaurant Inc., doing business as Casa d'Angelo at 146 Mulberry Street, alteration to add sidewalk and was a denial. Banter Hospitality Group LLC, doing business at 169 Sullivan Street. This was an alteration to add roadway. The appearance was waived. M Prince Inc., doing business as Momoya Soho at 47 Prince Street, also known as 259 Mulberry Street. This was an alteration to add sidewalk and the appearance was waived. Rana LLC, doing business as Jack's wife Frida at 72 University. This was an alteration to add sidewalk and the appearance was waived. And CGP Enterprises Inc., doing business as Greek Taverna, 95 University Place, an alteration to add sidewalk and their appearance was waived. And items 21 to 29 are layovers or withdrawals. Any questions?
So we have items for SLA 1 through 20, and then then 21 through 29 as layovers, correct?
Or withdrawals.
Or withdrawals. So we have items 1 through 20 for SLA 1. Any discussion on those items? Eugene.
I just had a quick question on items 4 and 5 for One Tiger. If you could explain, I know Anthony's not here, but do you know why he voted against?
Yeah, I would say he does not believe they are going to remain in compliance with their method of operation.
Okay.
But they have signed stipulations.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, is there any, Will, can we get a microphone? If you know you would like to say something, please find your way to a microphone.
So just there was like a big chunk of like 10 in a row that were sidewalk cafe denials. Is it basically they just don't physically meet the actual like clearance requirements?
Exactly. They're all 2 feet wide, and so they don't meet the ADA. They're meeting the clear path requirements, which is why they are only 2 feet wide, but the 2 feet wide does not meet ADA requirements, and so we are not approving them.
What are the ADA requirements, Donna?
Oh, there's a whole listing of
You
them.
could just
And
give the one in relation
okay,
to
so
that.
36 inches is basically what a clear floor space is requirement from ADA guidelines. There are links in the resolutions, but 36 inches is a clear floor space requirement. The pinch point in a doorway, it goes down to 32 inches for a length of something like either 24 or 48 inches. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. So basically, our committee has recommended denial of any sidewalk cafe that is not 36 inches wide.
Okay, is there any further discussion on SLA items 1 through 20? Is there any unwillingness to vote on SLA 1 items 1 through 20? 1 through 25?
No, it's 1 through 20.
Okay, so there is no number 25? Could you confirm that?
No, number 25 is a layover or withdrawal. I'd have to look up which it is.
So can we get a microphone to Sean? So we are voting on items 1 through 20, 21 through 29, just so it is crystal clear, are layovers or withdrawals.
But I have a question.
Of course.
Yeah, after we vote, I have a question for the committee.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'll ask it now.
Yeah, I would ask you now because we're going to move on to the SLA 2 when we're done.
Yeah. They were asked to several questions, and do you know if they responded regarding their operation?
The committee has not asked them any questions.
Excuse me?
The SLA committee has not asked them any questions. They did not appear before us. They asked to lay the application over, so the SLA committee has not asked them any questions. Community Board 2 has not asked them any
Nor
questions.
received any answers to
I
questions.
have not
from-
asked them any questions. The Community Board has not asked them any questions.
Okay.
Because they haven't come before us.
Is there any further discussion on SLA items 1 through 20 that we are voting on this evening? Okay, any unwillingness to vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? Okay, we'll move on to SLA 2.
Okay, same thing. SLA 2, actually, interesting month. We had 29 applications on both, so it was an even split. And there were 21 decisions on SLA 2. Same thing, all the decisions were unanimous unless I call it out otherwise, and all the decisions were deny unless with stipulations unless I call it out otherwise. The first resolution was Ad Hoc Collective LLC doing business as Ad Hoc at 13 Christopher Street. This is a tavern wine license in a previously unlicensed location. It was a deny unless with a vote of 4 to 1. 4 in favor, 1 opposed. Morandi LP doing business as Morandi, 15 Charles Street, alteration to add open streets. Levanto LLC doing business as Levanto at 1 Jane Street, restaurant wine, previously unlicensed location. 50 Merchants LLC doing business as the Commerce Inn, 50 Mercer Street, alteration to add sidewalk seating. J.M. Williams LLC doing business as Buvette at 4244 Grove, alteration to add sidewalk seating. Ice Sodi LLC at 314 Bleecker Street, alteration to add sidewalk seating. 51 Merchants LLC doing business as Via Carota at 51 Grove Street, alteration to add sidewalk seating. 52 Merchants LLC doing business as Piccolino at 52 Grove Street, alteration to add sidewalk seating. Officina 1397 LLC, doing business as Bar Pistolino at 92 7th Avenue South. This is an alteration to add sidewalk seating and a change in method to add the sidewalk seating. MJ Execution LLC, doing business as Aperitivo by Carta, 101 West 10th Street. This is a tavern wine license in a previously unlicensed location. Real Mudu, 117 7th Avenue South, LLC at 117 7th Avenue South. This is a class change for an on-premise restaurant license, and that was a denial. Palermo LLC, 2 Bank Street, also known as 81 Greenwich Avenue. This is an on-premise for a restaurant. It's a transfer application. Carol Woodcroft Soho LLC at 210 6th Avenue, Unit 1F. This is on-premise for a restaurant transfer application. Super Rich New York Corp. Doing business as Chata at 26264 6th Avenue. This is an alteration to add sidewalk seating. Pyramid Effect LLC, doing business as Fellini, also known as Tivoli and Fellini at 176 7th Avenue South. This was an alteration to add sidewalk and was a denial. Fellini Meatpacking Corp., doing business as Fellini at 420 West 14th Street. This is a tavern wine license for a previously unlicensed location, and that was a denial. Vivamo Partners LLC, doing business as Bar V at 1012 Morton Street. This was just a change in method of operation. Their appearance was waived. Banter West Village LLC, doing business as Banter at 643 Hudson Street. Alteration to add sidewalk and roadway, appearance was waived. Bar Giacosa Corp., doing business as Bar Pitti at 268 Avenue of the Americas. This is an alteration to add sidewalk seating. The appearance was waived. Bar Giacosa Corp., doing business as Il Patino at 268 Avenue of the Americas. Alteration to add sidewalk seating, appearance waived. And 1 Perry LLC, doing business as Rowe's at 1 Perry Street. Alteration to add sidewalk, and their appearance was waived. And then items 22 to 29 were either layovers or withdrawals.
Okay, so we have items 1 through 29 as well?
Yeah, 1
Right?
through
1
29,
through 29?
22 to 29 are layovers
Okay.
or withdrawals.
So 1 through 20, and then
1 through 21, and then
1 through 21, and then 22 through 29. Oh, so slightly off. So I see Patricia has her hand up. Can we get a microphone to Patricia? Thank you.
I would like to call number 1 out.
Okay, so we're going to call out number 1. Is there any unwillingness to vote on 2 through 21? Okay, so we'll vote on SLA items 2 through 21, correct? I'm sorry? Is this the last resolution? It's not, because we've called one out. Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so we're now, if there's no unwillingness to vote on SLA 2 items number 2 through 21, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Recusals? And now we will have discussion on SLA 2, agenda item number 1.
Hi, I just want to know why Brian was in the opposition on number 1.
This particular operator has been violating every possible rule of running a restaurant for years or for many months. They, even after being warned. So similar to, I think there were a couple of other operators who had a similar history that this just didn't seem to be warranted for this location.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on SLA item number 1? All right. Is there any unwillingness to vote on SLA item number 1? And for that, we will go to a roll call vote. This is the last vote.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Valerie. Okay. From the top, Will Banesh. Yes. Keen Berger. No. Carter Booth. Yes. Kate Lee Bordenaro. Yes. Anita Brandt. Anita? Thanks, Anita. Amy Brenna. Okay, we'll come back. Thank you. Rich Cacapolo? Nina Chen? Valerie De La Rosa?
Yes.
Chris Dignas? Arturo Fernandez?
Yes.
Mara Fitzgerald? Did Mara step out? Okay, we'll come back. Susan Gammy? JJ Herrera? DJ Jane? Juliet Kay? Susan Kent? Janine Kiley? Patricia Laria? Benjamin Listman? Paul McDade, I believe, has left. Yep. Erica Olson has also departed. Brian Pape? Matthew Pereira? Donna Raftery? Lois Rakoff? Bo Riccobono?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me, sorry, Bo. Thank you. Sean Ryan? Rocio Sands? Shirley Secunda? Frederica Siegel? Emma Smith, yes. Dr. Shirley Smith? Sean Sweeney? Susan Wittenberg? Eugene Yu? And I'm going to call again for Anita Brandt. She said yes earlier. Anita, you're yes? Okay, thank you. And Mara Fitzgerald, is she present? Okay. I'm not going to count that vote.
Were you going to try Amy Brenna one more time?
Oh, yes, thank you so much. Amy Brenna is absent as well. Okay, thank you, Valerie.
Okay, thanks. We do have reports without resolutions. You can read those. Those are in your packet. Our land use, parks and waterfront, schools and education, and traffic and transportation. Is there any new business that anyone would like to bring up? Rocio, if you could get a microphone.
Thank you. It's a simple request. I stepped out to go to the ladies' room, and I just want to try to catch up where SLA was at. So it would be helpful if you call out the number, not just the address, so everyone knows what number you're up to. Suggestion. Thank you.
Okay. And just a real quick note, if you were on Zoom and you did not have a extraordinary circumstance form or a medical waiver on file with the office, both of those that you have a qualification, the extraordinary circumstance being a short-term one-off item, your vote will not count, just so that's crystal clear. So there was someone called whose vote will not count because we do not have that on file prior to the meeting. Thank you so much. Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? All right, so this meeting is adjourned at 9:04 p.m. Thank you.